Smriti ji, your couple story is very interesting because it challenges traditional gender roles.
Women should demand to know where is my money being placed.
Anand ji, what position did you retire as in the Indian Navy?
The biggest thing was looking at economics.
Each career, there is a carrot.
We started working in 2017. I'm presuming,
Yes.
you've had conversation with few other people. What made you trust me?
I came to know about you through Ranjit Kapoor. He strongly recommended you. Over the years, your availability, your openness in everything, how it has been. I mean, both of us felt just really,
Very
I felt very comfortable.
Absolutely.
But you treated her as a individual.
Yeah.
Yes.
And for me, that was very important.
So for her, those are the small things which you can't quantify,
Yeah.
but they just
Thank you
make
so
a
much.
difference.
You are a family name right now. Honestly,
If a young couple was watching this, what message would you give them for a successful career and a successful financial life and how to achieve success?
it's important to know where your hard work is going. Secondly, you have to be able to communicate. I would again give a lot of credit to you, Mohit, because when you come in for portfolio discussions, you treat us as separate individuals but also as a unit.
You mentioned about the economics of it. How did the number conversations came about and why do you think, that was important?
A lot of decisions in life have to be based on the economics of the future.
Earning well is pretty important. And, when did you realize that financial planning and managing your wealth is important as well?
That year, I paid 17 lakhs in tax.
But Anandji, your fitness journey is pretty inspirational.
How do you select your clients? At the end of the day, it's hard earned money.
Welcome to another episode of Mohit's Mantra, the podcast for people who want to thrive and not just survive. I'm your host, Mohit Beriwala, an entrepreneur, investor, and a lifelong learner who is constantly curious about one thing: what helps us grow in life, in money, and in work. This podcast is built around conversation with inspiring thinkers, creators, entrepreneurs, and leaders who've changed conventional thinking और कुछ बड़ा काम किए हैं. हम डिकोड करेंगे उनके माइंडसेट्स को, उनके हैबिट्स को, उनके डिसीजंस को, ताकि हम भी उनसे सीख के हमारे करियर, हमारे रिलेशनशिप्स और हमारे पैसे में ग्रोथ कर सके. टुडे वी हैव विद अस मिसेस प्रीति खंडेलवाल एंड मिस्टर आनंद खंडेलवाल. Anand ji is a former Navy officer who served the country with distinction. Smriti ji is a global hospitality leader who is the serving director at APAC Sales for Four Seasons Hotel. Yes, wohi luxury wali hotel brands. Together, they are accomplished professionals and also a very inspiring couple. Also, with Dil Se, they are valued clients of Shirama Managers. And today we'll explore how they have used financial planning to empower their life's biggest decisions. Anand ji, Smriti ji, welcome to Mohit's Mantra.
Thank you, Mohit.
Thank you so much, Mohit. Such a pleasure being here.
Absolutely. Before we start, let's begin with your individual journeys. क्या बता सकते हैं, what was your career paths and how did you get to over here?
You should
I
start.
think so. The thing was, Mohit, I think both of us come from regular 4G middle class backgrounds where education was what was really, to do well in life and to move to the next level. And then, of course, I met Anand, who, was another 4G. My life journey, my career journey was a lot to do with how do I modulate my aspirations career wise while thriving in his environment. And we were dating before marriage, so there was aisa nahi tha ki kuch chupa hai. And hospitality was what I really chose. And started, working with hotel brands like ITC and the Taj and the Oberoi, and finally landed
Wow.
myself with the, yeah. So I've moved all across the country following him. And what was interesting was that the moment my mother knew that I want to get married to him, she made me do my B.Ed as well. कि कहीं दूर दराज, posting हो जाए, तो कम से कम there is something that empowers you to continue your journey. So I've kind of followed him around till we came to certain pit stops in life, and we decided now what do we do next with our careers. So I've been a hospitality professional, growing from one strength to the other, and कभी कभी ऊपर नीचे होता रहता था, because the only good thing that we decided was we will never separate out our lives because of our careers. So I followed him mostly everywhere, and now, it's back to the pilot
That's
seat.
He follows you.
Now he follows me.
Who's having the more enjoyable journey is the question. The first 17 years or the next 17?
Yeah,
So,
that's true.
see, yeah, so my journey is also, I mean, backgrounds are very similar, and my thing of going into the Navy, my dad was in the Air Force, and he so much wanted me to go into the Air Force, join NDA. But, just before we graduated in 1990 is when Top Gun came out. Right.
Oh,
So it was that lure of that white uniform. So there were so many
yeah,
of us. It was actually that, it's that white
yeah,
uniform. And I mean, I
yeah,
mean, maybe,
yeah,
maybe not, but it's been like that. And that got me to the Navy. Plus, then I joined, that time we had the Naval Academy in Goa. Then there was the lure of Goa, which you had heard so much about all your life. That, in the 1990s, Goa, not today, but the 1990s. And so the training was in Goa. So I took a step to go to the Naval Academy for 3 years instead of NDA through the same exam. And yeah, my father was against it. He was like, NDA, you have to go, son following the father, and you're not going into the Air Force, you're going to the Navy, but at least go to NDA. But yeah, 3 years in Naval Academy, and then the Navy took over. It was a long 27 years straight out of school. And
wow,
yes, then there was a time which came, which, decided the future path. I've done a couple of things after leaving. Mm, Stay-at-home dad has also been a full-time job.
wow.
I can
That's true.
understand
That's
now.
100% true.
Yes, so it's been a full-time job with the travel and everything. And yes, the YouTube channel I started with a friend. Actually, he started it and roped me into it. Now I'm just sitting on the sidelines and he's working more on it. And I also worked in Singapore for a bit for running an online store, and did a bit of business for myself, importing food stuff from India and selling in Singapore till COVID sort of put a stop to it when everything shut down and things just,
Yeah,
not happening. And yes, now I'm enjoying tennis mostly because
yeah.
the daughter doesn't
You're
need the dad that much.
and the kind of
So
calories you
yes,
burn, it's pretty inspiring,
it's been lots of different things and really interesting. And I mean there are no cribs about it. How the career path has gone.
I would really, Mohit, say that as we moved along in our journeys together, we've continuously tried to repurpose ourselves. Because, like, Anand has had to repurpose himself a lot after we
Correct.
switched, career priorities, and we've just tried to make the most of it. I think that's what keeps us centered, in our journeys together.
Absolutely. Anandji, what position did you retire as in the Indian Navy, and how long ago was
So
that?
yeah. So there is a joke behind it also, but I retired as a commander. And so that was a very deliberate decision because we had come to a stage
Okay.
in our life where we were deciding how life moves ahead, professionally for her, for me,
Yes.
personally, because we had just had our daughter. And
Yes.
so I was due to go back to a ship for my mandatory sea time, and then hopefully, get promoted to the next rank, to a captain's rank. But that also would have entailed sort of moving every year for 3 or 4 years. You see, because I would have
Ah,
gone to a ship for a year, then I would have got promoted, then they would have posted me somewhere ashore. Then I had to do a professional course for 11 months, which was sort of compulsory once you get promoted. Then you go to another place for that course, then you move again. So it would have been a bit of sort of things not happening very comfortably in
Yes.
our personal life,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
she had got that stability in Delhi for 4 years. Where our parents also helped us out. My parents were there quite a bit to help us out, look after the baby, and she could go back to work, and then she was doing extremely well. So we did all
Ah,
that, and commander. So I decided commander was a good rank to retire as, because James Bond was also a commander all his life.
yeah, that's true.
So
If it was
right,
good for
so
007, it's good for you.
and for the entire Star Trek series, Spock was also a commander.
Yeah,
Yeah, though
yeah,
he became an
100%.
admiral later on, but
That's the
Uh,
that's
inspiration.
the inspiration.
that's their inspiration.
And so, those kinds. And Maverick also went up only to captain, right? So,
Yeah, 100%. So the Top Gun also came back.
so yeah, so you
Exactly.
have that. And Spock was my hero when I was growing up in Star Trek used to be the
Uh,
thing. So yeah, so I retired as a commander from the Navy. I took voluntary retirement.
and when was this, sir?
This was in 2017. So I joined my training on 8th of July 1990, training
Ah,
establishment in Goa. That was just out of school, right? The results came out, and
yeah, correct.
in April, May, or June, and July we were there. 8th of July was our first day. And I retired on 15th of March 2017. So nearly
Uh,
27 years
yeah, it's
with
like
the white uniform.
it's Zindagi.
That's a lifetime. Seriously, that's a
Uh,
lifetime. 27 years.
that's pretty fantastic.
So that was my journey.
So, I'm just, Smriti ji, your couple story is very interesting because it challenges traditional gender roles. And,
Yes.
you just briefly mentioned that about that your decision, but when was it like, Anand ji and Smriti ji, you specifically decided कि यार आज से you gonna enjoy relax and chillaxing in life, and Smriti ji, you're gonna be the top guy.
Uh, Mohit, I think हम सबकी जिंदगी में एक बहुत बड़ा पड़ाव आता है when you have a child.
Yes,
And Anand and I had a child very late.
By
It was
yes,
a
Right.
choice. It was a choice.
yes,
And we had a kid after almost 12 years of
Yeah.
marriage.
We were waiting for the
yes.
right kid to come along.
I am sure the parents must have not been happy for waiting for the 12 years.
So, story to our daughter for the first 6, 7 years of her life, when she used to get pissed with us, right? When she gets scolded and all this. That please don't blame us. We were living, the two of us were living our life happily with the dog. We were very happy, and then you were the one sitting with God on the merry-go-round, seeing the merry-go-round go round and round. And you decided these are the best people I get, and these are the ones I want God. And so one day God decided, okay, here it is. So this story continued for about 8 years or 10 years, right? And when she was 10 years old, one day, it used to come up, we used to get upset, and we used to say, she used to say, you're the worst parents. Why did you have a kid? This is the way you're going to parent and all. And then one day she just turns around and, because I said the same thing, she was having that argument with us. And I said, God, your problem, not ours. Right? And she just turns around and says, you know why I chose you guys? And we were like, shit,
Well,
this is, sorry, pardon the
Interesting.
language, this is interesting. It's gone on to a next level, like the kid is growing up. And we said, yeah, please tell us why. She said, I sacrifice myself so that no other kid has to bear the load of me in their lives.
oh my God, she's
So,
damn smart.
so yeah. So
Absolutely.
anyway, so you were saying so that yeah, so kid changes
Yeah.
so many things.
Uh,
No, coming back to the question, Mohit. So, there were some very interesting things that were unfolding at that same time when my daughter was about 3 and 4. One was he had finished his pensionable service, which was an
yes,
important,
yes,
safety net, so to speak.
yes. Is it like
20
15
years
years?
for officers, 20 years of service,
Okay.
20 years of commissioned service.
Ah, okay. Right. Sorry.
हाँ
Please
so
continue.
so that was one big safety net that we reached. Then keeping an evaluation of, see, we had the best of both worlds. We had a great
Yes.
private job and a government services job. So you had the best
Yes.
of perks. You had the best of remuneration, so to speak. So it was a good
Correct.
life, and we saw how that was helping us with life experiences, with our
Correct.
investments, with slowly kind of working towards it. So एक तो ये था. Then we also started looking at what are the destabilizers in our life. Like he
Okay.
mentioned now, Mohit, ki he would have to keep traveling, he would have to keep staying away from
Yes.
family, he would be on
Yes.
shore. What does it do to our
Yes.
personal life? And I think the biggest thing was looking at economics. See, a lot of
Yeah.
decisions in life have to be based on the economics of the future. तो तब
Correct.
हम लोगों ने ना बात करना शुरू किया कि आगे क्या, आगे क्या, what do we want in life, how do we see life panning out, what are our aspirations for our child, because हर माँ बाप ये सोचता है कि how can I provide the best, and then looking at the opportunities that can be capitalized on. सो बहुत सारे
Yes.
ये चीजें थी, और मोहित ये एक दिन का डिसीजन नहीं था, ये कांस्टेंट टॉकिंग था, डिस्कसिंग था, पर्सपेक्टिव्स थे, फ्रेंड्स थे जो लाइक माइंडेड होते हैं,
Yes.
हु आर
Yes.
आल्सो. सो
Absolutely.
बहुत सारी, हाँ, सो ये बहुत सारी चीजें थी जो हम लोगों ने सोचना शुरू किया.
About 16 years ago.
हाँ,
Maybe around the time she was, she was
3-4
due.
years old.
No, but she was due also. We
हाँ,
decided what next, how will it work out, what do you want to
Absolutely.
do? You have followed me along,
yeah,
followed me so long, pushing back,
Yeah.
taking a step back in your career, moving ahead, but
right,
taking a step back,
Yes.
moving ahead. Because
Yes.
I would go to Vizag, you obviously couldn't get a job at that same level. The
No, no,
company
no,
couldn't
not
offer you
possible.
something similar in a smaller town, but they'll still offer.
Correct.
So it was a bit of mix. I mean, it was a mix and match. Plus, I grew in service. Then you understood, the romance goes out of your of your life. That Top Gun romance goes out. You see the realities.
हाँ,
You see the good. You also start seeing the bad, right? You also
Yeah.
start seeing the negatives a bit. It's a very
Correct.
steep pyramidal structure. It's giving you an amazing life. It's giving you an amazing education. It's made you a leader. It's given you a
Yes.
lot of positives, but there are a few negatives. If you look at career growth, long term stagnation, it's a very pyramidal structure in the armed forces. I mean, you see so many
Yes.
news articles, right, on pay, commissions, and fights and
Yeah.
arguments and
100%.
everything. So you have to realize the reality of it. Plus, we have seen our parents,
हाँ,
right? We have seen our
Yes.
fathers reach a level,
Yes.
stagnate because of age, because of competition, because of so many other factors, which are not
100%.
entirely in your hand.
100%.
And the private sector gives you that much more flexibility, which you
Yes.
may or may not have in the government sector.
Absolutely.
So it was a long, 4 or 5 years.
discussion.
She was not for it initially, that you're doing reasonably well in your career. Why would you want to leave it
Yes.
now? So
Yes.
why not wait for one more rank, one more promotion, then decide?
Yeah.
That that
Actually,
that
because,
that
Carrot na.
carrot
हाँ,
is always there, right?
हाँ,
Ek mil
हाँ,
jayega, you'll get
Yeah.
it. Then
हाँ,
you'll
right,
get a star on your car. You'll get a flag. You'll get,
हाँ,
each person has their own this thing. If you're a
yes,
bureaucrat, you'll become a joint secretary.
correct, correct, correct,
Joint
correct,
secretaries run the
absolutely,
government, right? At the end of the day. So
yes,
in each career, there is a carrot.
yes,
Right now, you have to decide when is the carrot worth compromising over. When you
yeah,
take an
the family
intelligent
responsibility,
decision, when you take an intelligent
absolutely,
decision to get out. I mean, I've seen people. I know people who have left before their pensionable service and they're doing so well. So well.
yeah,
They took that risk, right, in 10 years, 12 years, and say, okay, it's taught me a lot, but I think I can do something more outside. And I know so many people from my peer group who have done so well outside. And that is the opportunity she had. And she's very good at what she does. She's very ambitious, dedicated, very good. So it makes a difference.
fantastic,
ऑल्सो ना मोहित, क्या होता है कि आई थिंक हम दोनों का जो नेचर है ना, समवेयर इट्स वेरी डिफरेंट, but it supports each other. I'm a planner. I'm a overthinker sometimes. I want to follow a certain plan that goes to an objective. So I think that part also took over. And I think somewhere he had that belief in me that I'll be able to do it. And I
Ah,
had that,
he's a Top Gun guy, na? He goes by
no,
instinct.
नहीं, not only that, पता है
Just kidding.
मोहित, नहीं नहीं, बट पता है एक चीज बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट है, और आपने कहा अनकन्वेंशनल, और उसमें आई थिंक द बिगेस्ट थिंग इज how does the ego of the man come in?
Yes, yes, absolutely.
And that is your biggest deal breaker as a woman who's
100%.
equally ambitious.
100%.
And that way I feel, I mean, I know वो नहीं था, और क्योंकि देखो ये भी था कि what he said ना, he was doing well. We really started getting into these deep, hard conversations when both of us were at a very strong crossroads, doing well, ready for
Yes.
our next promotion. And then the sheer economics took over. ये फिर emotion, ego, हम लोगों ने ना गठरी बांध के, we just kept it on the side. We started talking hard economics.
Actually, it was also, yeah, because we were at that stage where, okay, if she gives it up, then I move ahead, right? So I get the next
Correct.
rank and the next one, and then how
Correct.
much can you go ahead? And if she left it at that point in time, it would have been very difficult for her to come back to where she's
Yes.
reached today over the last
Yes.
13 years.
Even
Yes.
financially, and
No,
actually,
but in your
we
career, so
also
I mean
looked at
that's
career
yeah. So she would. So it was like, okay, this is the time where either she breaks free and goes ahead,
Mm.
or then she pulls herself back, becomes a mother, does some work, and it sort of continues. So we just thought it worked out. I mean, we came to the conclusion, and it's worked out well because hindsight is
Brilliant.
6 by 6, like they say, and we are sitting where we can say, okay, it's worked out well. But it was a very well
Yes.
thought out, long term discussions. Speaking to a lot of people supported us. A lot of friends who knew both of us as a couple, who knew
yeah,
how she worked, they supported us and said, see, you're not making a mistake. Go
yeah.
ahead. It's different, it's
It's,
unconventional, but I think you guys can do it.
it's pretty fantastic.
So,
That's me. So thank you so much for this candor. Now tell me, how do you guys split the responsibilities? And your kid is a smart kid.
Yeah, so I'll speak about myself first, because I think the split he takes is way more. I think one is the confusion in parents today. Do you want to be a parent? Do you want to be a friend? Do you want to be a confidant to a Gen Z? How do you want that relationship to go? I think the biggest thing that I bring to the table is a fierce sense of independence. मेक अप योर
Mm.
माइंड विद कन्वर्सेशंस. जैसे आनंद और मैं बात करते हैं, वैसे ही हम अपनी डॉटर से भी बात करते हैं. We make her a part of important discussions. We make her a part of, a lot of life decisions and life experiences. My role in the whole thing is I'm there for her as a friend, we have a daughter, as a woman, as, a lady, as a friend. She's there to come to me. I let her come to me and support her with her activities and whatever, education, studies, whatever. When she wants me to be around, I'm not a helicopter mom. I can't be that. I can't micromanage. And that's where I think she gets her independence. And I've brought her up like that since
Yes.
the very beginning. And I
Brilliant.
think that is my role in her life. All these secret conversations of don't tell dad, but I want to tell you something. हमारी बड़ी मिडनाइट मैगी कन्वर्सेशंस होती हैं रजाई में घुस के. हमारी बड़ी छुप छुप के बातें होती हैं. That she's a single child, and I think
Yeah.
she needs that. So I feel that part of her life, and I think everything else he
no,
fills.
that's her part. But what about the rest of the
Well-
stuff at home? The thing. So yeah, no, but see, at home, I mean, let's talk about home responsibilities. Yes, a lot of it is mine, but because I'm at home, right? Supervise the
Ah.
cleaner, do the shopping and all, but that's part and parcel. She's taught me how to cook quite a bit, so that gets done. Like
Are you
dal,
a
I
good
cook
cook?
better than. Dal I cook better
Very.
than her as far as my daughter's concerned.
Ah,
So anyway, so those are different things, but it's all pitch and this. I think she does quite a bit, in spite of working 12 hours a day, maybe more and all. She will still cook kadhi and rajma and all, which I can't do. She'll still do those things. If I tell her now I
wow.
want to have aloo paratha, I can't make it, she'll go and make it. So, I mean, it's like that, but things like doing laundry is my issue. Doing the income taxes is my problem. Making sure they are filed.
Planning
So,
holidays is his
planning
problem.
holidays is my problem. My
That's one of the most important things which has to be done.
Absolutely.
yeah. So
और हम
planning
बहुत छुट्टी जाते हैं.
yeah, like you said, no, I'm chutti pe hote hain, I'm on chutti. So yes, so it's a mix and match. We do put in wherever it is. We have our arguments also. Like after doing laundry for 1 month, I do need a break one day. So
But like you spoke about splits, I asked my daughter this question. I said, how often do you want me to be a very participative parent in school? Because I
Ah,
have to take a decision of taking a half day or a full day and keep coming. Or do you
correct.
want me to save all that for vacations? You decide. And she was
Ah,
more than happy to say, नहीं पापा ठीक है वो आ सकते हैं स्कूल आप छुट्टी बचा के रखो when we go on vacations. So I make sure that she has a say in how much time she wants me investing with her in what. So that
hmm.
becomes a very easy decision. Like, for the salon or for a haircut or for a makeover, then I'm there.
Mom.
And then for
Ah,
then so we even involve her in how she wants us to split time with her. All her diving trips and everything is father. All her salon trips
wow.
is mom. So we split it all basis how she wants it.
yeah, but I think we've got a good
Very
balance
good
of
balance.
what we do.
Huh.
I mean, over the years, I think it was, and I think also what's made the difference is after leaving the Navy, I've not done a full-time job.
Yes.
That's given me more time.
Flexibility.
It's given me the flexibility. So it's just sort of, and daughter was small, right? So it was like
Yes.
taking a swimming every day, going for runs,
Horse riding.
horse ride, taking a
Last
horse
week.
riding or kayaking or here or there. So it's been a very,
All round kind
all
of
round. Yeah,
development.
we have sort of balanced it out, both of us, what we do. But yeah, most things financial. Initially, she doesn't put her head into it. She likes to know about it, but that's left a bit to me.
That's pretty
So
fantastic. The way you guys have split the responsibilities. That's super nice. And, you get to enjoy your silent trips and your diving trips.
Yeah.
You mentioned about the economics of it. How did the number conversations came about and why do you think, that was important? And on the second part, a lot of couples avoid discussing money openly.
Hmm.
Do you think discussing money strengthened your relationship?
मोहित ये बनिया है ठीक है
वो भी he also
so so so
बात सब
a
पैसे की
very
है.
वैसे
बात
ये
ऐसे
ये
ही है
पंडित है.
हाँ मैं पंडित हूँ but a very big part of that actually came from childhood Mohit because my mom has always been working. She's 75 and she still works. Now the question
Wow.
was, yeah, and a lot of that financial freedom, financial independence, how it got ingrained was a lot seeing her as I was growing up. That was important.
Yes.
Going with her shopping, going with her when she went for movies with friends or dinners with friends or to salon trips and everything. I used to be amazed that as a woman, because that was not traditional in the 80s or the 90s. I have
Correct.
always seen my mom being very financially independent, and I have seen her discuss with my dad that, okay, whatever little money we have this month will go in new uniforms, new sneakers, new shoes, and how, in their own little way, they used to plan it between themselves. So it was never something new. Anand and I got married very early. We had simple salaries, and even from the time we got married in 1997, we always had a small budget. कि ये इसके लिए
Yes.
rent है, ये है, वो है.
Oh
That
yeah. So the first job she did in Taj. No, ITC. ITC hotel in Vizag. I mean, first job after we got married. And our house rent used to be 2,300 rupees. Okay, in Vizag, we were there. Remember the
Huh.
hotel we met in?
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
Remember
yeah.
Vizag, you had come. The
Yes,
hotel we met in, the
yes,
same
yes.
hotel she used to work, ITC,
Rents, something,
whatever
whatever.
the name was. And her salary was that time on a contract basis. So she used to get paid per day,
Oh,
right? Like she had a salary of I think 5,000 rupees or something over 30 days or 25 days or whatever, 6 day a
uh,
week and all
so
that.
200 rupees
So
a
if she
day.
missed a day, they used to cut that 250 rupees or whatever that money
Uh,
used to be. It was like that. So
uh,
our salary, this thing was 2,300 rupees, and I think our electricity bill, everything total मिला के 27 होता था. So there used to be months ki 27 हो गया मैं office नहीं जाऊंगी, okay, and we used to stay right across the road. So it was like this, and we used to have on the beach down the road from our house, we used to have a restaurant called Restaurant. Everything used to be with
uh,
eggs, egg fried rice, egg noodle, anda
uh,
bhurji, egg sandwich, and all. So we used to have 3-4 meals there. So once all that used to cover, she used to say that restaurant and rent is my responsibility. So she used to not go.
We always maintained a budget from the time we got married. It's just
uh,
got more interesting because now Anand has a color coded pie chart, which we look
oh,
at the end of
wow.
every month. We have expense heads even today. And it is so incredible that if my daughter was to spend out with her friends or something like that, she will always come and tell him, "Can you plug this into this bucket?" And then he always shows her,
Ah,
okay.
But
It's
that
a
yeah,
lightweight.
no, yes, I'll tell you why. Because it started when we moved here and we said, let's see, we have
How
to
it
live in our
works.
budget. It's an expensive place,
yeah,
Singapore. So
yes.
thoda mota, we said, let's start, because we discovered suddenly that more than half your salary goes in taxes, school,
Rent.
and rent. That's your
Yeah.
biggest thing. So, and then I've continued keeping it because it sort of gives you a
Sanity
figure.
check.
Yes,
Yes,
yes.
what you can and what you cannot do. How
Absolutely.
much can you
Absolutely.
do? How much should you
Yes.
extend, or those kind of things. So, yeah, we've been discussing from the beginning. I mean, when we started going around 92 and 93, we used to meet in Delhi. We used to walk 14 kilometers because we didn't have money for a bus. Right? We used to sit in Nirula's for like 6 hours over one hot chocolate or that hot chocolate fudge. Then we
Chocolate
started
fudge.
going by bus. As salaries improved, then we started doing auto. Then there was a time I used to carry my bike by train every time I used to come to meet her. So,
Mohit, we have seen every stage, and
Yes.
it just strengthens your resolve that what do I want next and what do I need to do for that. Even when we bought our first house, or when we started really understanding the financial markets in its very nascent stage in the early 2000s, it was always हम कहाँ के 2 शेयर्स खरीद सकते हैं अपनी सेविंग में से, मंथली बजट
yeah,
में
but
से,
we should always
सिंपल
talk
सिंपल
about
थिंग्स.
it. We should always talk about
मुझे तो समझ तब नहीं आता था इतना, but he took the time to explain it to me. He took the time to say that, okay, if we do this today, that is what is happening. We started planning about real estate and all that, and that's how my because see, at the end of the day, it's hard-earned money. I remember
Yes.
at that time my bonus used to come, because I'm in sales and marketing. What are we together going to use this bonus for? Paying off a home loan, paying off or buying 2 shares of something,
yeah,
buying
changing a refrigerator.
changing refrigerator, or upgrading the car. So we always had that, and I felt that I was a very big part of that decision making process, as he would always sit down and talk to me.
I think it works like
It just
you are interested in learning about it also. Because if you're
Yes.
not, if you like, I won't say a typical person, and it obviously, in everything it goes more towards women, especially in India, who say, let the husband do it or let the father do it
Yes.
or something. So you have to be interested also, right?
You
If you
have
say
to.
कि नहीं
100%.
मेरे को फर्क नहीं पड़ता, you do it, make sure it is. There are, I mean, people who
But
do that.
I still
But
love it that you simplified it because देखिए क्या होता है ताली दो हाथ
Yes,
से बजती है एक हाथ से नहीं बजती है.
absolutely. Absolutely. And the thing was, I think when you are hardworking, you value your money, you
you
should
value
do
your hard
hard
work.
work. As a
Yes,
woman, and there are so many working couples, I think women should demand to know where is my
100%.
money being placed, because I
Absolutely.
have also had a lot of friends, and पहले होता था क्या होता था that husband wife are working, wife की सैलरी से घर चल रहा है, तो उसका बैंक तो इतना स्ट्रांग नहीं है,
खत्म.
एंड
हाँ.
हस्बैंड का सैलरी पूरा सेविंग्स में जा रहा है, तो खुदा ना खास्ता समथिंग हैपेंस, वो वाइफ इज स्टैंडिंग ऑन द रोड डिस्पाइट हैविंग सपोर्टेड द होल प्रोसेस ऑफ अ फैमिली ऑल द इयर्स.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
but we have the same thing on the other way. She has her bank account in India is still single. Mine is joint, right? So she still has that HDFC account for the last 20-25 years, which is still single holding. In her name, where
Anandji,
her
it is
salary used
because
to.
statistically women outlive men. That is why.
Oh really?
So, and mine was made joint the minute we got married, right? So,
Uh,
all
No, but I
yeah.
right.
think, in one line, if I have to say, Mohit, I think the partners must talk to each other willingly, very willingly. And the men
Absolutely.
should really help. See, women are not so wired, on what's happening financially with their investments. But women should ask that question, and the men should take that opportunity to simplify it and together be with some financial advisors who can simplify the whole process. Then it becomes interesting. Okay, acha, this is what
Absolutely.
happened. This is what happened. That's the whole process, I think.
Absolutely. This is pretty fantastic. Anandji, Smriti I have a couple of questions more.
Sure.
Anandji, how did you, society से कोई pressure नहीं आया कि you're not working and आप स्मृति जी के
अभी
संग
भी
हो
अभी भी आता
and
है कभी कभी अभी भी आता है कभी कभी नहीं frankly I tell you I have I don't you know she has even lesser very close friends than I do. I still have a circle because of my a few
Navy
batchmates who are
background.
very close and everything and all. I think all of them supported us because they knew us as a couple,
Wow.
right, for so long. And
Mm,
we've been,
yes.
we were girlfriend, boyfriend from 92, 93. We got married in 97. So they know her. Whenever they used to go on chutti, even if I was not there, they will meet her and all. So people know us very well. And a lot of support from them. The couple of my seniors who supported us a lot, who also explained the same thing about what I told you about the stagnation in the Navy.
Yes.
You know,
Yes.
who
Yes.
were senior to us by 7 years, who had already passed through that phase, who maybe saw us in their younger stages in
Wow.
life, and we know there's a couple who's very close to us, and they may have taken a different step, right? And then you learn from it. That maybe if we had
Yes.
taken, so we had their hindsight to go by. Yes, parents wise, my father still at times asks me, "Are you sure you can't go back?" And I'm like, seriously.
I think
No,
he'll
my
still ask
father
you to go
wasn't
back to
very
the Air
happy
Force.
about it. No, my father-in-law were not very happy about it. I mean, I think if you ask them frankly, they won't be very pleased about it even today. They worked their whole life in the forces and retired from it and
Yeah.
everything and all. And my father worked till 2020. He was working. Her
Oh,
father is still
seriously?
working. Yeah. My father was
Wow.
working till 2020. It's only when COVID came they went back. They used to be in Langkawi, 15 years he worked there. And her father is still working, practicing doctor. He and her mom run a clinic. So yes, the pressure was there, but I think today. I mean, we don't live with our parents there. There's that distance. The pressure can only, the pressure is coming over that distance, so it reduces. Plus, I think they have that confidence that whatever you're doing,
Yeah.
you're not
Good.
making a fool of yourself. So it was there,
Yes.
but it wasn't difficult to fob it off. I think she also must have been told, are you sure it's the correct decision what you're taking,
Yeah.
by her parents?
Yeah.
Maybe not as much by mine, but individually, yes. But friends, family, each other, I
We
mean,
supported.
not at all.
Yeah.
I mean, it's been
Wow.
very comfortable.
Yeah.
Pretty fantastic. Smriti ji, now the hot question or the burning, hot
Sure.
seat question. Do
Ha.
you feel the pressure of being the primary earning member of the family? How do you manage it?
Uh, I do feel it. I'll be very honest, and I think I should not hide it also, uh, because there are a lot of women who are like me as well. And even here in Singapore, we do have a lot of couples who are expats where the women are the primary breadwinners. But what I feel also, Mohit, is at that when I feel that way now, it is due to a certain phase I'm going through at work
Yes.
or through personal exhaustion. Because exhaustion at
Yes.
this level is massive. You're traveling, you're on calls with US. A lot of us report to the US. Your timelines and time zones are so messed up that you don't get the time to pull yourself back, take a step back, and breathe. And I think
Yes.
that is the moment when your partner really steps in. And I would say that for Anand, that I'm able to talk about it to him, that I'm very overwhelmed. I want to run away. I want to hibernate somewhere. I want to take a sabbatical. And I think sometimes more than the physical exhaustion, it is
The
emotional
mental.
exhaustion. वो मेंटल इमोशन क्या होता है, मे बी सिर्फ मेरे साथ होता होगा. वो मेंटल इमोशन ना कहीं इमोशनल ओवरवेलम बन के निकलता है. यू गेट इरिटेबल, यू वांट you don't want to talk to someone, you feel underconfident at work, you feel overwhelmed at work. But what I have realized is that uh, you have to look for coping mechanisms. And
Plus at this age, the
uh,
hormonal
there are
changes,
a lot of, I'm
it's
50,
like,
and there are so many hormonal changes with menopause and everything.
yeah.
And I think that is where you need a very solid support in your partner. I
Yes.
have gone to
Absolutely.
him. Uh, I mean, when I feel like that over a period, I actually let him know that can you back off me a bit because I'm going through
Mm.
this phase. And I think what has really helped is him introducing me. So I sometimes run and to take it out. I sometimes
Yes.
swim, take it out. I play tennis with him. And the days I'm really into it, I hit the ball really hard. I also started journaling. I mean, I write
I know.
whatever
I
comes to
just.
my, yeah. So I journal a lot, and there's a lot I post, but there is a lot that I just write and leave it because it helps me just remove that stress. It does get to you, and I swear to God, sometimes I sit down and think, and I ask him that question: as men, do you also feel it when you are the soul? Because no one asks the men this question. No one tells a man, it's just expected out of a man. So sometimes I also feel that, we need to be empathetic to the men as well, who may be going through the same thing. So, yes, I do go through it. The only good thing is I have that comfort level with him. And that's where I think the communication aspect of it comes
Brilliant.
in, and the there should be no ego. And sometimes I also feel throwing it in anger, in frustration, that कर तो रही हूं मैं सब और क्या चाहिए. Sometimes you disregard the other person's expectation of you as a partner, as a wife, as a mother. So it is very important for the family unit as a whole to come to it. And I have now realized my daughter's 18. She senses that as well. And
Ah.
there are times when she will come and ask me, especially when I'm on my study table at home and working. She'll peep in and she'll ask me, Maggie bana do, French fries bana do, or something. I
Wow.
think the whole family as a whole. So you are able to let it go. But yes,
Wow.
there are times, and I'll be honest with you, मैं ऑफिस से ही इसको फोन करके बोल देती हूँ, when I come home, don't talk to me for some time. I just need a warm
To
hug. I
decompress.
need to, I just need to let it go.
Or I need a drink.
Or I need a drink. I need drink and bhujia save. So, by the time
Uh,
I'm home, it's all ready. So all those kind of things, that becomes your coping mechanism. And I think
I think she wants to stop working 10 times a day.
I have phases where I say I don't want to work anymore. We are in a good space. I just want to give it up. And then both my daughter is the first one to remind me, Mom, you have 15 more years to go. Because in my company, you can work till 65. So she keeps
and
reminding
you
me, and
love
we
your work.
laugh. Huh? And I
And
love
you
my
love your
work.
work.
I love, absolutely, I love my work. And I think that makes it easier to tide over these emotions.
Yeah. Smriti ji, you manage teams and across countries and cultures. And, how do you realize that leadership, how has your leadership style been different? Because being in Singapore, working with people across time zones, countries, and it's
Hmm.
being in India, we work with only a subsection of Indians, and of course, we are
Right.
itself pretty heterogeneous, but still different cultures. How do you manage
Yeah.
that?
See, it's not easy to because an Australian works very differently from a Chinese, who works very differently from a Singapore or a Japanese or an Indian. And I have team members across, plus the US and everything. I think the first rule of leadership that I have, it's a personal style, be human. Because that is the only language that cuts across any culture.
Absolutely, absolutely,
So you have to be human, you have to be compassionate about people in general. I think the second thing is everyone is driven across teams with a shared goal, a shared purpose,
yes,
a shared performance objective. Because ultimately, we generate revenue, me and my team. Our job is to generate returns. So everyone has to share that passion and that goal for that objective. The third thing I think is communication. I think how you communicate, how often you communicate, the clarity with which you communicate, and how you build that communication. Because through that comes the next point, which is trust. Can I trust my team to deliver together on a shared performance goal while you're being human and moving on to the next step? And just celebrating each other, celebrating success, having these conversations, allowing people to get vulnerable with you on performance. That I can't figure this out. What do I need to do? Be ready to step in. Be ready to really get into the business with your hands dirty. Sometimes you have to have hard conversations. Sometimes you have to have these performance conversations. The underlying thing to all this is just be human while you're chasing these objectives. Be real. And I think that is the way to that has been my leadership style. And I have seen that you just grow year on year from one strength to the next. So that becomes very important.
absolutely. And you're acing it at Four Seasons.
I've done well in the last 12 years. So yeah, I'm happy.
Pretty fantastic. Uh, Smriti ji, Anand ji, earning well is pretty important. And, when did you realize that financial planning and managing your wealth is important as
Mhm.
well?
So I'll tell you, I mean, I think it's sometime in 2005. Five is, I mean, I was singularly lucky that I was on a ship and I had someone who was younger than me,
Oh,
right? Who
wow.
was into mutual funds and this, and he got after a few of us. A very nice
Uh,
fellow, and he got after a few of us, and he had a very smart in his team. He had a very smart sailor of his guy, and the two of, I mean, he convinced us, and he used to say, "I will fill up your forms. You fill up this form. You put this SIP. I will deposit it." And he did that for us. I mean, he had no requirement to do it. He was not a broker or anything and all that.
correct.
And he started it. So we started putting in that 1,000, 2,000 rupees, 500. And I still remember he had told me once कि सर अगर आपके पास 500 रुपए भी है ना आप डालो 50 रुपए भी है डालो मैं आपको बोल रहा हूँ and I started and we started that I told her see यार ये है because we used to keep on seeing and you're in Bombay you see people standing outside Bombay Stock Exchange.
I
You
know.
read, Harshad Mehta happened and different things happened. And in the Navy, we used to get these circulars that you should not be seen in uniform around Bombay Stock Exchange because there were people, who were 30 years elder to you and all who had understood this game.
Yes.
And they used to leave office in lunchtime and all and go and, you had to go to the stock exchange, buy shares, sell, whatever
Yes.
that thing used to happen. I'm not very sure of that because I've never gone through it. And they used to do that. So obviously, if you're going past Bombay Stock Exchange, you'll see 5, 6 people in uniform roaming around there, which was not a done thing. But I think being in the Navy, being in Bombay compared to an Army or an Air Force person like my parents or her parents who don't do it, right? Because they never got that opportunity or that
I think the risk.
not the risk, but the opportunity to do this because it was never happening around you. You need someone to do it,
Push you.
to push you, right? So it was that. So this guy pushed us. So we started doing it. Then the banks opened, you could open a trading account. So he said, sir, why don't you open a trading account? तो हमने कहा चलो देख लेते हैं. उस टाइम वो बैंक ना फ्री में देता था. खोल लो,
Ah,
if you're this category of, like same thing what you have now, Imperial Bank or this or that. So we opened. Then we said, अच्छा यार थोड़ा पैसा क्या खरीदे? अच्छा वो Infosys बहुत अच्छा कर रहा है. अच्छा Infosys का शेयर खरीदते हैं. पर यार वो 600 रुपए
correct.
का शेयर है तो एक खरीदेंगे महीने का. I'm telling you, I bought one share of Infosys a month.
Yeah.
Infosys,
Uh,
ITC,
Precious metals we started with.
something, like this. Then daughter was born, we started with gold.
yes.
Like typical Indian family, 10 grams gold. Every birthday we will buy 10 grams of gold.
Yeah.
You
Yes.
know, that kind of thing. So थोड़ा थोड़ा अलग अलग करके, otherwise we were typical people, yeah, savings bank में डाल दो. Then someone explained, put it in your provident fund for me. And for
Hmm.
her, she had the EPF, which you
Yep.
had to put. But for me, we had the, provident fund, 8% return or whatever, and, tax free and everything and all. And somewhere that hit as we grew older, we started maximizing it because it was
Yes.
exempt.
Yeah.
It was an
Yes. Yes.
EEE
Yes.
system, right? And at
100%.
that point in time, till I served, we did not have a limit to it.
Yes.
So there
100%
was a
correct.
time, like, as her salary went up, we found we could balance the books better. So we said
Yes.
instead of putting it in the bank, I started putting it into that. And what happens in the Provident Fund, like someone told me, once it crosses 10 lakhs, you'll see the change. Once it
Ah,
crosses 20 lakhs, you'll see the change because you're
Yeah.
getting 8% interest tax free on it, right?
correct. Correct.
And
Correct.
when you see it jump, I mean, I'm telling you, when I retired, I calculated my gross salary over 23 years. It was not even a crore.
Yeah.
Gross. Because the
Yes.
salaries, that
Cumulative.
time, now
Huh.
it's a different thing. But that time it was
Huh.
not even a crore over 23 years. I would not have earned a crore, man. Like just about a crore.
Correct.
So
Absolutely.
that made a big difference. And so we talked about it little bit here, little bit there, buy a house, do this, put some money here because savings bank really, India still gives you something. Singapore and all, you get 0.25%.
कुछ
so,
नहीं.
No, and
ठंगा.
for me, Mohit, I still remember in 2015 or 2015, I think. Year end, I looked at the company would give you the whole, with tax
cut,
deducted and source, and I will never forget that figure. That year, I paid 17 lakhs in tax. And it
Wow.
blew my mind away that what the hell am I doing? And,
Yeah.
and I can never
Now you
forget
feel
that.
you're successful.
Of course. No, but I told him this. I said, we need to push more money into these investments and mutual funds and all, whatever I could understand. And
I mean, we
then,
need to
Yeah.
grow our money
Yeah.
because we have to pay so much tax whether we like it or not.
exactly. And I think with a
Yeah.
vengeance, we began that whole process in 2015 because of
Yeah,
just,
in 2013 and all, we started
Yeah,
pushing more into
more
provident
into-
fund,
yeah, these things
More
I think
share.
will hit you and they hit me.
more mutual funds.
Okay, I'm still traveling in Bombay in potholes, paying 17 lakhs to the governance here, and hey, I'd rather do something for myself, my family. And I think a lot of these small turning points, which really pushed us to take that risk, I could never understand, a high risk, high return, low risk, medium term. That is when I really sat down to understand that, okay, what can I do differently with my money? And
Absolutely.
yeah,
Plus, I think we've been very
You got
lucky. We
smarter
have
with your
been,
money.
and
yeah,
I think what has happened with us, we have grown uh, during the time when these things have become more and more accessible
huh.
and
Correct.
easier to. You see, we are actually at that time. Our parents were already, 55, 60 when all this, mutual fund buying through bank account, opening a thing,
Absolutely.
buying and selling on your computer on your online account. We have
Correct.
grown with it. So it's been a very, and as our salaries have grown, as we have become more economically independent, you know, maybe richer, I can say, and we have had these things to do. I mean, it's been like, yeah, we are lucky enough to
Yeah.
be there at the right time to do it and make use of it.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Pretty fantastic. Uh, so, ma'am, we started working in 2017. I'm presuming,
Yes.
you had conversation with few other people. What made you trust me and us more compared to
Your fellow
others?
one fellow banya, so no, but I'll tell you, it's so how you don't know how these things will work out, but I'll tell you, uh, I came to know about you through Ranjit Ganpure, a
Yes.
batchmate of mine. Okay, and the best
Yes.
part, I'll tell you how her relationship with Ranjit also. So Ranjit and I met first time in, I think, March or April 1990 when we went for the services selection board to Bangalore.
Okay.
Okay, so I was going to Naval Academy. He had applied for NDA. He was the only guy going to NDA in that SSB, and we both got selected. So we spent those 4 6 days together. We both got selected. Six of us got selected. He was one going to NDA. Rest of us went Naval Academy. And the next time I met him in 1993, when we all passed out of our respective academies and we went to Cochin together to the training ship, and we said, oh yeah, you are the guy who went there and all, and nice fellow he is, and we became very good friends. Subsequently, when I got married to her and she met him, and she said, shit, because he's also an Air Force kid,
We were in
Uh,
school
they were in
together.
school together. So
In class
wow.
5.
so I mean, he was obviously 2 years ahead and all,
He was in
but
class 7,
and
and we
so
used to
they
take the
Uh,
same
same
bus.
bus, and they were good friends that time also,
Yeah.
and it was there, and so he and I left the Navy at the same time.
yes.
It just so happened, like,
Yeah.
right, and we have been friends and we have been everything, and what actually Navy has taught you as batchmates and certain people is you trust them with your life, certain people,
Yes. 100%.
right? Because of the career choice. It's not
Yes.
that you're sitting in the hotel and you're saying, oh, I trust you with your life. Yes, you will have a couple of friends. But this was actually, it's not that he and I have served on any ship together other than the training part or something. But there are certain people they're just different. And he was one kind of such a fellow. And he strongly recommended you because I asked him, what the hell are you going to do, man, with this money? The
Yeah.
government is going to give you a bit of free, tax-free money.
Yeah.
Now you've spent
Yes.
27 years in the Navy. And he said, see, I have started last year or something with this guy. So I said, how do you know him? He says, my brother swears by him.
Yeah.
Okay, my
Vikramji is
brother has been
fantastic. His
using
brother is
him for
Vikramji.
5 years, his services, and he really swears by him. So I said, okay, because I was still looking around for people, someone recommended. I was in Bombay that time, then I messaged you, we spoke, and then
Yes.
you were in Bombay. And we met at
Yeah.
just outside Starbucks, or Starbucks
Yeah,
we
I
met.
remember.
I still remember behind Taj or
That time
something.
Starbucks was not famous as well. It just started in India,
Yeah,
I
Yeah, yeah,
think.
yeah. So we met there, and yeah, so and you will, I'll say this about you. You have been very comfortable to talk to. You give a very homely vibe, a very trusting vibe. No, seriously,
no, that is so
it's
true,
a very
Mohit.
trusting vibe.
Yeah.
And how you speak, how you took out time, you flew down immediately. And I know, see, someone can say it's a business for you, so you are doing it. Yes, it's a business for you, but doing it, coming down, meeting, and over the years, see, because it's something it's been, because you then met her in Delhi,
Yeah.
where we met. I
Yes.
still remember at where did we meet? At IHC Habitat, All American
Yes,
Diner, I
yes.
remember, right?
Yes, yes,
And you
yes.
came to Vizag to meet me, and over the years, it's just that your availability, your openness in everything, how it has been. I mean, both of us felt just really
Very
have felt
comfortable.
very comfortable with
Absolutely.
you. So it's just continued. It's
I will never forget, Mohit, when we met at the Habitat Center. That was my first meeting with you. You had actually come with our portfolio and everything, and you took the time to explain it to someone like me because I had read it, I had my questions, and
Yes.
you made it so easy for me to understand what's doing well, what's the objective of what kind of investment, where will it take you next. I think someone who took that time, because I've had accounts in other banks, I've had investments in other banks, and there was something called I have had relationship managers who have kind of okay, then a force feeding, and that's somewhere really the moment that comes. I never felt that with you.
I think I'll tell you, Habitat.
Yeah.
She mentioned one thing after you left, which she
Uh,
loved, that you came with a set of documents for her separately and me separately.
Yeah.
It
yeah,
wasn't
have
that
to.
अच्छा आप फैमिली हो, आप एक साथ बैठे हो, ये लोग दे होता है कि चलो मैं आदमी को दे दूंगा या वो कर
Yeah.
दूंगा. You had a separate one for her. As far as you are concerned, she's a separate client, because obviously you're
Yeah.
managing investments for her, you're managing for me.
Right.
While it is a family and I deal with you
Yeah.
mostly, I mean,
Yeah.
all the time I deal with you,
Yeah.
but you treated her as a individual.
Yeah. And for
Yes.
me, that was very
So
important.
for her, it's for like that, okay,
Yeah.
tomorrow if something happens, he will treat me as an individual entity.
Right.
It is
100%.
not that, oh, Anand ki wife ho, that kind of
Nahi, nahi, nahi.
thing. So, no, that
That's
means those are the small
Small
things
things.
which you can't quantify,
Yeah.
but they
wow.
just
Thank you so
make a
much.
difference.
Right.
Wow. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Uh, I have just a couple of questions. Yeah. If a young couple was watching this, what message would you give them for a successful career and a successful financial life and how to achieve success?
See, I can talk from the point of view of a woman, and especially young couples. It's important to know where your hard work is going. Do things that you are innately passionate about because that's where growth lies. That's one. I think,
Yes.
secondly, you have to be able to communicate, not demand, but communicate your needs. And you work as a family unit, but it's important to look at yourself even as a separate entity. What's there for me? What is your safety net? Where do I want to be tomorrow? How do I want to stand individually as in a portfolio? That is important. And plan. I think that planning also comes with trust and communication. Both. And see, a lot of us are not financially savvy. So seek that help. I think that is so important because everyone is a master of their own field. If finance was my
Yes.
field, investment was my field, I would have done it already. But if that is not the case, seek someone you can trust because एक वो vibe भी होती है क्योंकि I don't want to
Yeah.
name the banks that I have had investments in before and how their managers were with me, but एक वो look for the right person you can trust, have that communication, have that belief, trust your partner to have that conversation, and if there is hesitation, draw him out. It is important for as a woman working professional, or even if you're not, because there are a lot of women who are homemakers, but have a say and have a stake in your own future, in your own
Absolutely.
life. That is important. And if you are not wired for it, seek the right portfolio manager to put you in that space. So I think as a woman, that would be my advice to young couples, especially women. And
No, I differ to this. I mean, the man also needs to follow what she said exactly. I mean, if both of you
Brilliant.
follow what she said, then you're in sync,
you have to.
right?
You have to be in sync with this and these opportunities. And I would again give a lot of credit to you, Mohit, because when you come in for portfolio discussions, you treat us as separate individuals, but also as a unit. And I think that is the same behavioral aspect from money management that the couple has to come together. The wife should not say कि नहीं
Absolutely.
आप कर लो मैं समझ लूंगी. Take that
Ekdam.
interest. I mean, every 3 months I also sit with him and say अच्छा मेरा अभी कहाँ है, मेरा कितना ऊपर हुआ है, किस में परफॉर्मेंस परसेंटेज कितना है, इसमें कितना डालना है. And we have those, like, I'll be honest with you, last year I think we had 3 4 FDs maturing. We sat down to discuss how are we investing, what, where, what would be the rate of
Wow.
compounded interest, all these kind of discussions. Take that interest as a young,
But
and
I tell you one biggest this thing which has happened because of this, because our daughter sees us doing it.
oh,
Just 3 months ago, she came and said she gets an allowance now, right? Because since she turned
Yeah.
16, we have
Yeah.
put her on a. I mean, that pocket money is sort of gone. We made it called it an allowance. We said you have to manage your travel within the city, you have to manage your lunch in school, your pocket money, your certain things. So and we'll increase it. And you should, which I told her earlier, that you should save at least 15% or 20% out of it.
Yeah.
Maybe not
Yeah.
20% is too
Absolutely.
high right now, 10% because we are not giving you some. So 3 months ago, she came and said, how can I invest like you people invest? Because she hears us talking,
Wow.
right? So I told her, okay, let's do something. You get so X amount of money. How much out of this are you ready to spare? So she said, okay, I can spare like $25 or $30 or something. I think I can spare. She went
Uh.
through her account.
her
Okay,
pie chart.
her pie chart she went through. Okay, because this thing. And she said, so I said, okay, what I'll do is I'll buy a couple of mutual funds for that much of Indian currency from my account. I'll put a
Correct.
SIP
Yeah.
till the time
Uh,
you graduate school, go to
huh.
university. So 18 months. So 18 months, I'm going to give you $30 less. I'll put it there. I'll put it in FD. I'll put it in a recurring deposit. I'll put it
Uh,
in a couple of different mutual funds. And whichever gives you the highest return at the end of 18
uh,
months, I will give that to you.
huh.
And if there
Wow.
is a loss, I will give you a 5% interest and give it to you. You
Uh,
don't lose your money, but you understand.
uh,
So now you won't believe every weekend, how's my money doing? And I say, see, she says,
super.
this is 3% return. It's gone up by $1. What will I do? I said, now do you understand how much time,
Effort.
how much time it takes? I said, if you keep on doing this for the next 10 years, then you will see the change, or the next 5 years. It's the theory of compounding, right? Which everyone
Yeah,
says.
You
absolutely.
know,
But she's doing it. So she says, okay, how many places? I said, you are only getting one return out of these three things. I'm just showing you how different things give you different returns.
but Mohit, the
Because
Absolutely.
it's
best
like,
was the best was when she started on this 3 months ago. She sat with him to understand what is SIP, what is recurrent deposit, what is
yeah,
a mutual fund, and
Wow.
because she didn't understand it in one go, they did it 3 times over because she sat with her calculator, tried to do it herself. So I think that whole discipline also, when you sit and talk about it as a family, your children imbibe it because now she's like a hound after him. How's my SIP doing? How's my mutual fund doing? But I love that. I love that.
Yes.
And I
Absolutely.
love that. And like Mohit, you are a family name right now. Honestly,
Uh,
whenever
uh,
she
she
does it,
also knows your
she
name.
says,
oh,
maybe
this is
I need to.
nice.
Yeah, no, but I think that is the culture
Yeah,
for
no,
young
yeah.
couples to.
One day she was like, "So how's Mohit uncle doing for you guys? Am I becoming rich once you're no longer here?" I said, "Yeah, we'll see."
So these are
uh,
incredible
Teacher को
conversations.
मैंने तेरे को say.
So
uh,
it's incredible conversations for young families to have
absolutely.
with their around their children as well.
No, I
It's
think our
important.
bedrooms are adjoining. I think at night when we're discussing this, she's got a ear to the wall. What is money ke baat ho raha hai? Like anyway, but it's good. So
Yeah.
that thing started 3 months ago. So
This is super nice. I'm super proud that as parents, you're teaching your kids, your daughter about money. And I think young couples need to learn that if they have a conversation, it's going to rub off a conversation with their kids. And the kids are becoming smarter thanks to because they're
oh
observing their
yeah, yeah.
parents.
I think what happens is you really are not aware of what all they are picking up. It's only from kids you come to know.
Absolutely.
Like you have a young son, right? I'm sure there's
Yes,
so many
11
times me
year
and my
old.
wife think, and he'll say something, and you'll say, "God, he heard this,
Yeah.
and this is
Yeah.
his take, or he's picked up this." We never wanted to discuss this in front of him, right? But you never know
Yeah.
what they're hearing, how they're taking it, and what their take on it is. It's like, yeah, it's a good this thing.
Yeah, that's good. I'd like to end with a thought-provoking question. Your story proves that money is just not about wealth; it's about creating choices, and you've done that beautifully. If you could leave our audience with one lesson about marriage, money, and building a life together, what would it be?
I think for me, Mohit, it is about um, a shared vision, a shared vision of the future.
Communication.
It is a lot, and that shared vision you have to keep communicating to each other. And sometimes, honestly, even punch holes and discuss roadblocks. You have to
Absolutely.
discuss pitfalls. You have to be able to have a hard conversation with each other that okay, if not this, then what would happen? How do I want to mitigate that in a life situation? And for me, communication, that trust, don't let that ego come, and treat each other as equals. When I say equals, see, हर बार everyone can't give 50%. कभी आप 90 दे रहे हो, दूसरा 10 दे रहा है, कभी वो 70 दे रहा है, आप 30 दे रहे हो. वो बैलेंस एक बना के चलना पड़ता है, क्योंकि इसमें फाइनेंशियल प्लानिंग जरूरी है. आज के दौर में तो बहुत जरूरी है. व्हेन देयर इज सो मच
Absolutely.
अनसर्टेनिटी, you don't know.
Absolutely.
Get your children resilient to these conversations as well, depending on how old they are. And don't let that ego come in between, whether you're working, not working. Kaise hai? It's a shared vision. For me, I think
100%.
those shared visions, in which financial planning is also a very big part of it, has to be there. Transparent communication. I mean, that's what I would leave behind. What would you leave behind?
Get
Fun also. I think you have to have
Yeah.
fun.
get a spouse
Yes.
like her, and get a financial
100%.
advisor like mine.
Thank you
Both
so much.
things,
Thank you so
right?
much. Thank you so much. But Anandji, your fitness journey is pretty inspirational.
Ah, man, I'm not fit at all. I mean, I played that tennis and all. It's just locked onto that. I have to get my eating right, which is like next to impossible. But yeah, it's just tennis, and tennis. I
Great
think
to
that's
have you.
just keeping me. It's just keeping me going.
Mohit, I have
Please,
one
ma'am.
question from you. And we often discuss this. We talk about it a lot. So it's a joint question. How do
Mhm.
you select your clients?
Ma'am, right now, I am not working with individual clients on my own. I have about 45,
Huh.
50 families which I directly manage, which I
How
have had
did
a
you
built
select
a
those
emotional.
families? And how did you reject? How did you reject
Uh,
and select?
no, no. Now, by God's grace, we manage about 2,200 families. We have a large team of advisors.
Wow.
Oh, okay.
Wow.
They manage it, and they call me in, and I am there wherever they need help. The initial 45 families, or the family which I am very emotionally close to, I manage them. It's no longer money with them. It's just it's relationship. It's
Right.
family now. And I think by and large we are referred to our clients. We
Okay.
families like Ranjit ji, his brother
Hmm.
Vikram ji, and yourself. You refer people whom you believe are good fit for us. We work, we create their financial plans, and that's how they become family as well. Anandji, Smriti, thank you so much for such an inspiration and an honest conversation. Your journey reminds me and all of our viewers that true wealth is not just financial success. It's the freedom to make choices, the courage to change convention, and very importantly, trust one another with every stage of life. Whether you're building a global business, a corporate career, raising a family, young daughter in a different city of the world, and shuffling between Thailand and Singapore, and thoughtful financial planning can give you that confidence, the dream to pursue your dreams with compromising your values. Thank you for joining us on Mohit's Mantra. And for our viewers, if you enjoyed this conversation, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Until next time, keep keep learning, keep growing, and keep investing, not just in your portfolio, but in yourself. Keep thriving. Thank you.